I'm the Joker, baby. Alright, hey there guys, it is your boy Roman, your favorite neighborhood Russian, and Joker Folie, Deux is out, and it's a controversial movie. Gamers are mad, and a lot of people are very disappointed. I actually saw the movie myself 2 days ago, and I also feel conflicted about it, but I actually enjoyed it, and I think it's not as bad as a lot of people are saying. And honestly, it feels like a lot of people are kind of missing the point. And I'm not trying to, grandstand in this video and say that I'm smarter than everybody because I like the film. And I'm not trying to be on some I'm 14 and this is deep type However, Joker 2 is a sequel to one of the highest grossing movies of all time or whatever. A very popular movie, so to expect it, there will be some dumb people that will watch this movie too. And there's already a lot of people who are saying that the movie is bad because it's like woke or whatever. And they made it woke to ruin Joker 1 for everybody because Joker 1 was a movie about, essentially the male rage going mask off, doomer red pill. And in the second movie we have a we have a story about a lonely racist gamer who falls in love with a Discord kitten with BPD and gets manipulated by her or whatever. We'll talk about all of that, but also I want to share my general thoughts about the movie. I'll try to keep this video spoiler free, I won't reveal any major plot points. However, this video is more so for the people who've already watched it. So first of all, right, I'm a big fan of the original movie, and I think it is actually Kino. It's like actually one of the only worthwhile movies released in the last 5 years. I've seen that movie a couple of times, both on an IMAX screen and also on a shitty laptop screen. And when I watched it on a shitty laptop screen, the movie turned my freaking guts around still, That just shows that this is a great movie. And even though I'm a huge fan of the original movie, I'm actually not a big fan of comic books or DC or Marvel or anything, to be quite honest. I've only watched The Dark Knight actually like 2 months ago for the first time in my entire life. So I actually saw Heath Ledger's Joker after Joaquin's Joker, which is funny. And from what I'm seeing online of how people are discussing this movie, it feels like it's not as much of a movie about Joker, it's not as much of a Joker 2 as people expected it to be. More so, it's a movie about Arthur Fleck. And the thing is, guys, once again, I kind of processed the first movie as a movie about Arthur Fleck. So the fact that the second movie is a movie about Arthur Fleck, I actually kind of don't mind it, to be honest. Essentially, Joker 2, if you've heard a bunch of the conversation around this movie, it is a sequel that is kind of subversive and destroys the expectations in a sense, because even a lot of the scenes that were in the trailer are not in the movie, which is pretty confusing to me. I don't understand if that's intentional or not. And the movie itself, Joker 2, I don't want to beat around the bush. Yes, I do think, as a standalone product or whatever, it is inferior to Joker 1. Joker 1 is just so good, and once again, as somebody who doesn't really care about Batman or Joker, I absolutely loved it. It's one of like my all-time favorite movies now. The second movie is definitely more derivative. It's based around, what happened in the first movie. Joker is essentially in jail. We also saw this in the trailer, so I don't think this is much of a spoiler, right? A lot of what happens in this movie is just really a discussion or a reaction to what happened in the first movie. There's not much new things that Joker actually does. But honestly, once again, I didn't even expect it to be that. I think it was pretty clear from the first movie that Arthur is really not the Joker as in the criminal mastermind of Gotham City, he's a weak, sad, depressed man, with a lot of trauma and everything. His transformation as the Joker sort of personifies a lot of the thoughts that we have of, just essentially going like, fuck it. Or wanting to kill everybody and light the world on fire, because it's, just so bad. We all have that kind of sitting inside us, and Joker made that relatable. Now, the second movie is more so about, honestly, I feel like it's a kind of a meta commentary, I feel like, on movements and like cancel culture and whatnot, right? Because I guess it's 2024. These are the things that, artists want to talk about. As far as I see it, the whole discussion is around how people who a lot of the times maybe, experiencing some issues end up randomly sometimes in history in certain positions where they become like a certain symbol of a movement, or they do something that turns into a kind of a movement, and what happens is that the person that they really are becomes very disconnected from, the idea of them that the general public has. And I actually found it quite relatable, once again, because I'm a YouTuber. The disconnect between the real person and like this public persona or whatever, it's something that I kind of deal with in my personal life, and it's something that I saw in Joker 2. Arthur is basically kind of battling with himself in this movie and trying to also understand who he really is. And he's essentially being pulled and pushed by all sides of the conflict, trying to use him in their interests, to use him as their sort of, token kind of. And the idea here, once again, it basically shows that the society that we live in, right? We live in a society. People care more about the drama and this idea of the person more than the real person and their mental health and so on. Unfortunately, people, a lot of the times, instead of getting help, a lot of their worst behavior is actually paraded, and the world is sort of egging you on to continue that, so you kind of turn into that more and more. I think those are the main topics of this movie, basically. And I found it interesting. Once again, it's not a perfect sequel for the Joker movie. The Joker maybe, I don't think it needed a sequel, it was a perfect movie, but Joker 2 is an interesting exploration and a continuation of the themes, and it made me feel. Once again, I was in the cinema staring at the screen and feeling something. Which I enjoyed, once again, because most of movies these days are just complete slop, just made for the lowest common denominator, and I'm not saying, once again, that Joker 2 is like some insane work of art that only, you know, you need like a very high IQ to understand Joker 2. I know it comes off as that, but once again, this is a very popular movie. A lot of dumb people are gonna watch it, and a lot of people are gonna say that, you know, Joker is, you know, go woke, go broke or whatever. I've already seen a lot of people essentially doing content saying that this movie was essentially made as a troll to the fans of the first Joker, because the SJWs and the woke leftists in Hollywood realized that people like the character of Joker too much, so we had to make this second movie, right, where Joker is essentially a little pussy now. It destroys the first movie and it destroys, you know, our male fantasy of going mask off, doom a red pill, right? That's essentially what a lot of people are saying, that this movie was made to sort of emasculate the fans of the first movie, which as a fan of the first movie, I don't think so. This movie did not really ruin this first movie for me at all. In order to think so, you have to think that the intention the first movie was made with was to kind of show, you know, this male rage or whatever, this guy who basically goes, fuck you, fuck the world, as something bad, right? Like, and the Joker is made to be bad. So actually, we've all outsmarted woke Hollywood by actually liking the character. I don't think that's the case. I think Arthur Fleck was made to be likable. I think Arthur Fleck was created to be relatable. And the second movie did not make him less relatable to me. I still think he's relatable because precisely he stayed a real person in the second movie too. I do think that the people who are saying that he essentially starts out in the first and the second movie kind of being the same person, so there's not much of a character development there, I do think that's a valid point, but once again, saying that woke Hollywood realized that people like Joker too much, so let's emasculate him now and make him like cringy so that, you know, to basically one-up all the red pillars and the gamers who identify with the Joker, I don't think that's what happens. This is basically a lot of the same rhetoric with like Last of Us, where they were saying that, you know, Last of Us 2 was made to be a woke game where they killed the main character to essentially show men, once again, that they're bad or something. Go outside, touch grass, honestly. Again, I'm not saying that you have to like this movie, especially because a lot of people love the first movie and they had a lot of expectations for this one, right? As far as the musical stuff, how do I put it? It's not my favorite choice, honestly. I preferred the first movie once again just because it doesn't have musical numbers, but some of the musical numbers were fun. Some of them were just like annoying, to be honest. There were certain moments in the movie where like I just wanted them to stop singing because like it's a serious scene and they just break up a serious scene that has some tension by the characters who just start singing. But once again, I don't know. As far as the musical stuff, Lady Gaga is obviously a big part of the movie, and I actually didn't mind her. Once again, I don't really like stunt casting. I don't particularly love it when like pop stars are, you know, starring in huge movies or whatever, but my worry before the movie came out was sort of that Lady Gaga is not gonna be, she's not like edgy enough essentially to portray this character and be part of this movie. I actually thought she was fine, she was alright. I definitely don't want to subscribe to the kind of people who say that just because the movie is unique and subversive, it's automatically good, and once again, you are dumb, a little IQ baby if you don't like it. You're probably a gamer that got mad because Joker is soy now, whatever. I don't want to call the people who didn't like this movie, you know, edgy gamers or whatever. But I do think that the entire current discourse that has happened, where people are essentially saying that, you know, once again, Joker went woke and is going broke. Once again, I do think that Arthur was always meant to be a character that you sympathize with. I don't think that they did not want to make you like Joker in the first movie, and I do not think that the second movie here is like overcompensating for people liking it. To actually say, no, he was a bad guy all along. Again, did they have to make this movie? Probably not, but it is surely not as bad as people say it is, in my opinion. Because once again, Joaquin is so good, I want to marry him. What am I saying? I would love to watch this movie again or watch it back to back with the first one, but yes, it's a movie that suffers from a lot of things that sequels suffer from. It kind of drags on in certain scenes, unfortunately, which Joker 1 just didn't have. Joker 1 was just straight on, perfect, okay? Like, not a single shot was wasted in that movie, I feel like. Not exactly the case here. So yes, they have fallen off to some degree, but once again, Joker 1 was just so fucking good that Joker 2 is still so much better than most of the slop that comes out these days. So this is why I just kind of wanted to come on here and defend this movie. especially because I'm such a big fan of the first one, and I do not think that this second movie destroys the integrity of the first one, because, again, Arthur Fleck is a sick, weak man. He's not Heath Ledger's Joker. He's not a criminal mastermind Sigma red pill, you know? And this is probably stupid to ask because the movie's called fucking Joker, but if you treat Arthur Fleck as Arthur Fleck, the movie's pretty fucking good. And like I said, I did watch Heath Ledger's Joker only recently, in full. And you know, with all respect to Heath Ledger, it's a great performance, but Joaquin is just way better. This is just my opinion. Joaquin is just so... he's real. Arthur Fleck might be a real person. Heath Ledger's Joker is a comic book character, but Arthur Fleck feels real to me, and I guess this is why I just like these movies, and maybe that's why I'm kind of fanboying right now almost, and I feel like I have to defend this one. I don't know, guys. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought. I'm not particularly a movie guy or a movie review guy. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought of Joker Folie à Deux. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Now let me go and wash the shit off my face before I get before it severely affects my skin or something, okay guys? Because I'm the Joker at the end of the day, but I'm not that crazy. See ya.